So the question on everybody's mind is, what is Michael Carrick's style of play? And that is what has been bothering on everyone. I've done a deep dive and a research on what Michael Carrick's style of play is, and we're going to start analyzing from the defense. Now, from the defense, it looks like it's going on paper, actually information on paper, it looks like a 4-2-3-1. Now, in the defense, he lines up with the 4 at the back, obviously, and then he has 2 archetypes of a wing back. And we're going to call this entire formation the Carrick Code. Now, he has 2 archetypes of wing backs. One is the fly wing back or fly fullback, and one is the stay fullback. Now, the fly fullback, Luke Shaw, Patrick Dogu, these are the guys that are going to go high to choke up the attack, which we'll talk about in a few seconds. And then the stay fullback, the likes of Nozai Majraoui, who is the actual archetype of player for that stay fullback, is that kind of fullback that when we are with possession and in attack, he drifts into the mid or drifts into the defense to form a back 3 in possession, and then can also be that hybrid player that goes into the mid to create overload, or what you call the box. Now, in the midfield, for someone like Kobbie Mainoo, he likes to protect his players like Kobbie Mainoo, who can control and dictate play from the midfield, and he plays with what you call 2 6s. The protective 6, who is the one that the Carrick-X kind of player in maybe Casemiro, who can intercept balls and everything, and then your ball playing 6. And it sounds very familiar, as you already know what I'm talking about. Now, with those 2 6s, Kobbie Mainoo is protected by virtue of bringing someone like Bruno Fernandes back into mid, and then it now becomes, I've talked about 3 players, right? Casa or Ugarte, Mainoo, and Bruno. 1 more player. Now, that 1 more player is your guy who is your 3rd center back, or probably a hybrid midfielder who goes on to create overloads in the midfield. So that's 4. That's a box of 4. Sounds familiar again. Then you have your wingers, right? Now, your wingers, by virtue of the fly fullback on the left, your winger on the left, i.e. Matheus Cunha, drifts into the mid to create that inside forward role in the half space. And then your winger on the right, just does all the thing bombing down the right, and that is in your Ahmad and your Mbumo. And then your striker in Benjamin Šeško is your player that drops into the mid to also bring others into play. So he packs the middle, and then your Cunha as well, being your inside forward, kind of plays like a 10, and then also on the right side you have your Mbumo playing like a number 10, and then on the other hand you also have your Cunha playing behind the striker, creating overloads in the midfield, and then your Šeško drops into the mid as well, all of those things. Now, this type of formation is what you call the asymmetric blueprint of the Carrick Code, which is what he used at Middlesbrough. And I'm saying this because obviously I watched him when he moved to Middlesbrough, and I have kind of done a deep dive into historical facts and context as to how he played. So what do you guys think? I mean, it's a bit complex, but it sounds very familiar. It sounds like a 3-2-5 formation when in possession, and a 4-4-1-1 when out of possession and defending. Yeah, that's pretty much Michael Carrick. Hope he's able to implement all of this with regards to the Manchester derby in the weekend. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Follow for more.